Hey everybody, this is another knife review by Joe Doomsday. I've had this knife for a while and I did an unboxing of it, but today I'm actually out in the woods and I'm going to test it for you. This is the Down Under Knives Walkabout. Okay, this video of the Down Under Walkabout, I'm really doing this today. It goes out to Rawhead Rex on YouTube. He's been asking me about this knife, so we're going to give it a shot. Okay, here's the knife. I'm wearing it today. This is thick cow leather sheath, but it's stamped to look like alligator hide. And it has about a 3-inch belt loop on it. It's got real nice stitching, a thick leather welt in the center. And it comes with this little holder on the side which holds a honing steel. And it has little bone danglers on it just for looks, but it's kind of nice. And it has a metal fastener buckle there, and it holds the knife quite well. It grips onto the hand guard right here. It has a brass butt cap. It has leather wrapped handle with a little belly in it there, and then it's got the hand guard done in brass. See that little bit of green? You can see the brass does tarnish, so you'll need to polish this from time to time. The knife itself is 440 high carbon stainless steel, and they say that it is heat tempered properly so that it's harder at the edge and softer up at the top. And it says Down Under Knives, and this particular model is called the Walkabout. Okay, this knife, it has a mirror polish on it. As you can see, it reflects the light really well. And I've cut some paper with it, and I've just cut some things at home, like some cardboard and stuff, but we're out in the woods today. We're going to actually see what this knife can do. It's almost 1/4 of an inch thick. And then it has like a false edge there. And I believe it's about 8 inches long, and the handle's about 4.5 inches, 4 3/4 maybe. It's real comfortable grip. It fits my hand perfectly, so that's really nice. And it comes sharp. This is razor sharp. So we'll do a couple tests here. We'll cut some tree branches, and that'll be that. Okay, this has it's not quite a 90-degree spine. Like, it feels like it's slightly rounded, but the edges are somewhat sharp. I don't know how good it would be striking a fire steel. It might be fine, but well, all right, I'm going to try to do a feather stick here with this old dead stick. Like I said, this thing arrives. I haven't done nothing to this blade. This is how it arrived, and it's extremely sharp. This is old, dead, dry piece of maple here. It's either maple or red oak, but look at that. Like, that's a great feather stick. That would take a spark, no trouble at all. Very sharp knife. The only thing that really worries me about this knife is it has a rat tail tang, where the tang comes through and then it turns into a screw, and this is screwed on, and that's usually a weak point. Now, this one isn't super long like their other version, which is about out to here, so being shorter might help, but I mean, the proof will be in the pudding over time, so we'll have to see. But now I'm gonna just chop at some dead stuff here. Come over here, I guess. That was easy enough. Nice cut. Well, that actually broke, but you can see the cuts right here. Alright, I'm going to try to baton some of this here, but as you can see, this is a little precarious. But let's see if it can do it. This wood is hard. It's been cut down and stacked for quite a while. That's why it has these nice edges. And it's cured, and it's wet right now, but I mean, this is some very hard wood here. So let's see what we got. Well, it's going through, surprisingly. That wood is, that log down there is pretty iffy. Well, you can see that. I mean, it's cutting through that hard wood, and it's very dry on the inside. Now, let's see if I can get it the whole way down. Having some issues here with this old bent wood turning. All right. Let's in. Okay, I'll try this a little bit again. Get it in there farther. Get it back down to where it was. And there it is. Now, that was actually, look how round that is. It's like I was cutting a bow. See that knot? That bend right there? But it literally, I mean, this stuff is, that's some hard wood. And it went through it like a hot knife through butter. It even went around the turn. It's just, it's ridiculously stupid because this stick I'm batoning is round, as you can see. Because I'm too lazy to go search for anything better. Okay, I'm just going to chop mostly downwards for now, like glancing blows. Okay, as you can see, this wood's nice and hard. This seems to be working as good as any of my best knives that I own. I already did some over here too. And as long as that rat tail tang holds up, I'm really impressed with this knife. Let's try this way. See that? I'm going right into a knot. So that should be a test there. See that little knot in there? I just don't want to chop my hand off. Knowing me, I'll be like, and lose half of my hand. That is something. That is a sharp knife. Okay, this is what I was batoning on. I'm just going to chop into it a little bit. See how deeply it bites. I would say that the edge of this blade, where the belly is, it's about 2.5 inches, close to 3. So we'll get an idea of how deeply it's going into this log. And it actually is biting pretty well. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. It seemed like it was a good knife. Take a cut out of there for you. Not too shabby. Like, look at that. That is in there. And I don't really feel any looseness. It doesn't feel like anything's getting loose as hard as I'm whapping this knife. Okay, I'm going to do a stabbing test now. Okay, this is some hard wood. I think if you were to go side to side like this too much, I don't think I would break the tip, but I think the pressure would break this tang. I have a gut feeling about it. As long as you go back and forth like this, I think you'll be all right though. But it seems like that's pretty good. Nice little cuts there. Let me see if I can baton through some of this really thick edge here, maybe, of an actual big log. Too bad. I'm really thumping this, and this is a solid piece of wood here. So the trouble is the knife isn't as long, ain't long enough for the log. But oh well, that is something there. Okay, as you can see, this knife has taken some abuse today, and it's really dirty. I got to take it home and clean it. I got an old bank slip here. It's about as thick as a sheet of paper. I want to see if the edge is held up at all. far as being paper cutting sharp. Yeah, not too shabby. It's still sharp. Might need to be honed a little bit, but the good thing is they give you the honing rod. It's not as sharp now, I can tell after all that butchering. But okay, let's see here if it still has an edge at all. And it does. I did take the honing pin down it on each side about 10-15 strokes, and it's back to paper cutting sharp. So there you have it. I mean, I don't know if this knife's going to hold up well over like heavy abuse for like 2 or 3 years, but for a few, like just today, I was beating it around and it's still solid, and the edge looks pretty damn great. So this is the Walkabout by Down Under Knives. This is Joe Doomsday signing out. Okay, I'm back home from going out and doing a test review of this knife, and I cleaned it up a little bit before I put it back in the sheath, and I'm out of polishing cream. All I had to clean it with was a Brillo pad, believe it or not, the kind that come with the blue soap inside of the Brillo pad, and I used it on the brass just a little bit, and I used it on the blade, well, on the actual knife, not on the edge of the blade, and it's pretty much got most of the scratches gone, and the brass looks way better. The green tarnish came off, and it practically looks as good as new. It seems like some of the clear lacquer is coming off of this leather on the handle, but I didn't use the Brillo pad on that. I did get some water on it though. But other than that, it seems like it held up quite well. So not too shabby. Okay, I'm trying to do this with one hand while I'm back home here. I have this 2.5 inch, 2 3/4 inch piece of manila rope, and I wanted to see if I could like cut through it with this Walkabout knife. And I've dulled it quite a bit since I was out butchering in the woods, but I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but let's see. Doesn't look like it. If I had someone else to hold the camera, I probably could. It's cutting through it a little bit. But let's see if there's some way I can hold this. Well, I tried to cut the manila rope, but it's just too dull. Like, that's not happening. I'm sure with a good sharpening, it'll be able to do it, but not tonight. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out.